Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm covering a topic that I have already touched on. It is one of having spiritual goals. So basically what I'm trying to cover today in this video is what are our goals as Muslims? Where are we headed essentially? And what are some things that we can attain both in a spiritual sense as well as in a present life sense as well. So yeah, I'll get started. So the first goal that I've written down on my list is a goal of peace. So when I first came to Islam, this was a very, very big thing for me. I basically made many sincere prayers about peace for the ummah, peace for the planet, peace for myself. Many prayers about peace. And I guess what I'm trying to formulate and what I'm trying to say here is that when we have spiritual goals as well as other goals such as making it to prayer, having a good Ramadan, being good to our brothers, to our friends. When we have spiritual goals, it kind of separates the sort of the day in, day out of practicing Islam, and it gives us something bigger to focus on. So if we're always focused on something greater, such as having a sense of peace and a goal such as transcendent as this, it kind of shifts the focus from just your everyday getting through life to a more spiritual thing as well. So having a goal of peace is a good thing to aim for. And if we can try to live lives in accordance with this principle, and as well as seek it as something that is more spiritual as well, then we should all try. Now, the second goal I have here is prosperity. So I guess the thing is, why would anyone want to be prosperous? What's the point? We can sit around all day and play games or do anything, and so long as we meet our obligations, we are still doing everything we should, right? So what's the point? Now, I guess an example we can make here is the example of our Prophet. He was a very successful person. I don't know the setup so well. It's probably an area of knowledge that I'm actually a bit lacking in. But I do know that he was very, very prosperous wherever he went. He was victorious in battle. I think, there was always some kind of prosperity happening around him, just as a general idea, right? So if we want to be good Muslims, it's okay to just do our duties and that's enough. But if we want to be prosperous as well, take an example from our Prophet. He was a very successful person, and aim to be successful in the present life as well as in the hereafter, because our success in all things, it's something that is more or less contagious. Once one person achieves success in anything, this effect rubs off on everyone else as well. So that's another thing. Now, a third goal that I have down here is one of happiness. So this is a very basic goal. Now, I believe that most humans would agree that happiness is something that they would want to attain. So what's the point in me really formulating it? I guess when you say, what are some of the things that I want to achieve while I'm alive? Do I want to have lots of money? Do I want to um, do I want anything in this life? Do I want a flash car, a nice big house, whatever? Or do we want something a bit more transcendent than that? So I guess when I mention happiness as a goal, just try to keep this as some kind of premise, some kind of idea that we're aiming to achieve in this life, no matter what our circumstances are. So if we have little or if we have much, remember that it is our gratitude towards our blessings that is always going to be the main source of happiness for us. Now, the next thing I've written down is the goal of brotherhood. So the thing about Islam, when we are Muslims, we basically belong to this enormous collective. We're all essentially doing Islam together. Anyone who is not is sort of missing out, I guess. So yeah, what's the point in achieving brotherhood? Why should we get along? Now, it's a lot easier to do Islam when you're getting along well with your brothers or your sisters, either way. So I guess yeah, what's the use here? Why aim for this as a spiritual goal? So when we're good to our brothers, when we say good words and when we encourage them to have things such as peace, happiness, patience, gratitude, yeah. Um, this can really help us not only to help them, but these things actually they come back around. So the more we encourage others, if we're ever in a situation where we need support ourselves, it's almost as though we're filling some kind of a tank. We're spreading as much joy and as much kindness as we can, and these are blessings that are going to come back around as much as we can understand. So try to be good to your brothers, and you'll make your community a lot more of a happy place to live in. Now, the next thing I've written down is probably the most clear goal that we all have as Muslims, and this is a goal of Jannah. So, what I guess I want to say here is that when we value this goal, this is the kind of thing that we need to think about. So, I guess when we think about our goal of paradise, what is there anything that we are willing to essentially trade off when it comes to our eternal goal? And the clear and obvious answer here is that nothing should really ever come into our path when it comes to our goal of Jannah. I guess we want to be rational here. I mean, This is not a worldly affair. This is something that can only come by Allah's permission. But I guess what are the things that we are doing that are pleasing to God, and what are the things that we are doing that might be displeasing? So always keep in mind the weight of your actions, and just try to value this goal as much as you can, and remember that there will eventually be some beautiful thing awaiting all of us when we graduate from our present lives. So I guess remember that this is the thing that we're striving for, and try to be as best as we can while we're still alive. So that's the next thing, and the thing after that is the goal of understanding. So what I want to say here is that in our religion we kind of have a few tiers, like we have the pillars, I guess. So we have our prayer, our fasting, our charity, and for those who can, we have the Hajj, and belief as well on top of that. So do we want to, while it's perfectly okay to just fulfill these pillars, that's enough for any Muslim. But if we ever want to go beyond this, if we want to, let's say, understand the Quran, if we want to have more of an understanding of some of the more what's the word, like mystical senses of the religion, is this anything that anyone would like to understand? So I guess what I want to say here is that while it's perfectly fine to just fulfill the commitments in Islam, if we ever want to go deeper than that, and let's say broaden our understanding in order to become, let's say, more of a use to others, and more of a use to ourselves as well, because when we have more understanding, we are in a better position as Muslims. Just try to think that understanding is a really good thing, and the more we understand about our religion, the more helpful we can be. And I guess it's a good thing, right? And the last thing, the last goal that I have written down is one of knowledge. So what is the point? Why should we seek knowledge? Now, in Islam, what I know and what I understand is that seeking knowledge is a very, very good frame of mind to be in. Basically, as long as we're alive, we are always going to have some kind of a desire to understand more, and to seek understanding as much as we can. So I guess having a goal of acquiring more understanding, more understanding essentially of the religion, then this is going to keep us moving forwards, because we never want to stagnate. We never want to stop and say, look, my journey's over, I know everything. As soon as you do that, you're basically closing the doors and saying that you can't learn anything anymore, and it's almost it's a bit naive to say that that you have full command of Islam. So basically, always seek knowledge and always keep moving forward in your journey, and you'll find that it's a lot more rewarding. when you're always trying to extend yourself and try to gain more understanding of the religion. So there's 7 spiritual goals for you, in order from first to the last. I've written down peace, prosperity, happiness, brotherhood, paradise, understanding, and knowledge. So if this helps anyone, I hope it does. And thank you very much.